All right, we just got started. Welcome back again, everybody. Buddha is here. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at exactly what we can do for the time being in Bitcoin as well as cryptocurrency. So welcome back, everybody, again. Let's take a look at the charts, what we can do for the time being. Let's try to understand that. We are still building the platform, right? We are building a platform where you can easily do the analysis. So it's going to be really cool because we're going to be using AI to understand exactly what's going on in the markets. So I want to simply over here, take a look at the charts and give you guys something to think about, give you guys the setups and what I am doing for the time being, and what I am thinking. So it seems like the charts are looking really good, right? The charts are looking really good. It looks like we may actually take out these highs over here around $84,000 area. I think it's going to be a really important level to be watching out for. That level over there around like $84,000 area is going to be a really important level to be watching. And right now, if you take a look, it took us around 266 days to form a bottom. Usually this is around 365 days. If you take a look at the previous actions over here, it takes around 370 days, around 365 days, around a year, right? If you take a look at the previous data as well. So for us to be going for the upside over here is kind of early, in my opinion. And I think we have had a lot of short sellers over here around this price area. And that's why we are kind of trying to liquidate them and try to move for the downside again. Maybe there's going to be a one last move for the downside as well. So what I'm thinking is, if we go above the $79,000 area, the super trend indicator is going to be giving us a buy signal. As you can see, the last time it gave us a buy signal, we went into this bull market over there. And if you take a look at over here, we went to a bull market over there. So if it works again, I would not be surprised we will be in a bull market, but for the time being, I think the best we can do is just to wait and see. And if we do see that super trend buy signal, I would say accumulating on a week basis is going to be a really important thing to do. But before we see that, doing any kind of action is not necessarily a good idea, in my opinion. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ over here. I think NASDAQ is looking really good. Right? It has been in a bull market, obviously, for a long time now. But when we take a look at the price action over here in terms of the monetary base, which tells us exactly what's going on in the markets, it tells us, it takes into account the money printing aspect of the markets. And if you divide QQQ, which means US 100, which means NASDAQ 100 index, it gives us this chart over here. And as you can see over there, 61.8% level in terms of the Fibonacci's retracement level is going to be the sell area, and we are sitting at that level. So that's a really important chart that a lot of people misses. You got to take into account the money printing aspect of this market, because as many of you know, after 2020 we started printing a lot of money. We gave out money to everybody. Everybody received checks. Everybody received a lot of money. They put into Dogecoin, they put into Bitcoin, they put into all the altcoins, or the, as many of you say, shitcoins, and we have seen a tremendous rally in 2021. And in 2025, we did not see that rally because the money printing was not in place, right? It wasn't ready. The markets weren't ready. So right now, when we take a look at QQQ, we can clearly see we are in a major resistance level. And that doesn't necessarily mean that the bull market is over. What it means is that we got to be a little bit more cautious and move into assets that haven't had this type of a rally, which is cryptocurrencies, right? So I think putting money outside of US 100 or US 500 into a little bit, not all of it maybe, if you want to play it safe, could be a good move. And also for the gold holders as well, for the short run, maybe putting in a little bit of money over here if you see the super trend indicator to be in a buy zone, could be a good idea or a good plan. Okay, that's what I'm thinking over here. So for us to be a buyer over here is a little bit early. For us to be a seller over here, a little bit dangerous. So I would say the best thing to do is to wait and not do a lot of different things. Just wait and see what the levels are going to be showing us, what the market is going to be showing us, so that we can move into that direction to become a winner, right? To become a winner, we gotta sometimes wait. We have been waiting for a long time now. Now it's time to shine, right? That's basically it. So we are waiting for exactly that to be happening, and it's going to happen soon. All right, that's pretty much the summary of all the things that I wanted to say. It's our turn right now to be, you know, accumulating shortly, but slowly, but surely, waiting for the $84,000 area to be actually hit, and then we can move. Right? That is what I'm thinking over here. So when we take a look at a lot of different things over here, including like Near, I would say Near is a potential buy over here, right? Near, which is an altcoin. It's related to AI. I'm still bullish on AI. You know, I'm not bearish on AI. I think AI is the only thing in this world right now that can actually shine everything and bring everything out. The good things of this world. AI is going to do a lot of good things, and AI is doing a lot of good things if you leverage it. I'm leveraging it, and I will leverage it, and I recommend you leverage it as well. I think it is the best assets are in AI. If you are not holding AI or any AI related things, I think you may be missing out, and especially if you're not using it. You may not be holding it, but if you're not using it, you're missing a lot more. So you better be careful and, you know, watch out for the AI assets as well. So this is why I think Near is a good pick over here. Looks really good. I mean, take a look at the chart. I mean, it doesn't look bad, right? So it has bottomed over there. We have liquidated the longs over there. We have went a little bit higher, came back down. You know, it looks not bad. You know, take a look at this formation over here. I would say I would want to buy Near soon. You know, maybe I will buy it, but I'm waiting for my funds around January. So January, I'm gonna be receiving some paycheck. So I have to wait for that. But if I wasn't waiting for it, if I had a little bit of money on the sidelines, then I will be definitely pulling in the trigger right now, right here, and enter into a position and sell half on a double and move into Bitcoin. This is one of the assets that I'm watching. Near is also, Render is also another asset that I'm really interested in. I think Render is a good pick as well. Looks like it has had a good rally. I think we are going to have another rally over here, in my opinion. It looks like it has bottomed itself out. As long as we see Bitcoin super trend indicator on the weekly basis to be in a buy location and giving us a buy signal, I would say Render is not a bad pick. You know, it is a good pick for us to be actually accumulating slowly but surely as well. Let's take a look at Tau, or is it TAO. This is another pick. I think it's a good pick, but when we take a look at the circulating supply of it, it doesn't look that promising because there's a lot of missing supply that can be entering into the market. And right now, when we take a look at it, it has been going sideways. So that's a good signal. It's going sideways, but there's a lot of tokens to be unlocked. So that's always a doubt in my mind, because we have seen in the past, everybody, as many of you know, as the tokens unlock, we see the market to be going against us, just slowly but surely going down. We have seen that over and over and over again. So I think this pick is not a bad pick. It's not a bad project. I think it's a good investment, but there is that, you know, circulating supply issue. So we got to be careful. You know, we got to wait for the market to be giving us exactly a bull market signal before we can pull the trigger on this pick. Not so much in Near and Render, but TAO or Tau, I think it's one of those tokens where we got to be really more careful when we want to invest into it. AKT is another pick over here that I'm thinking. I think it's not a bad project, right? I think it's a project where we can slowly but surely accumulate. But we gotta wait for the Bitcoin buy signal on this as well. Not so much in Near and Render, but so much in the AKT and the TAO. I think those two picks, we gotta wait for the bull market by Render and Near. I think it's not a bad idea to be slowly but surely accumulating. That's pretty much it. We have a lot of different altcoins over here that I have added to my basket. I'm taking a look at them, but I don't see any pick that's really that good. But one thing that I see is the VVV project over here, sitting at $18 area. It's around $600 million market cap. There's another circulating supply issue as well. So I think it's not a bad pick, everybody. I think this is not a bad pick. But I think this is only for the people who wants to trade, not invest. I think this project is not for investment. This is just for a trading opportunity. It seems like they are building a good platform on the base network. I think, lastly, this is the information that I want to give out to you guys. Base projects are the ones. If you are building on top of base network, if you are, doing something on base network, I think that network that, Coinbase partially, produced or publicized is going to be the one that's going to be the winner. I think BSC network is another network that could be actually potentially moving into the AI type of things, as they announced almost like 2-3 weeks ago. They said the BSC network is going to be implementing AI type of things. So if that's the reality as well, then, Binance-backed projects or type of projects are going to be the ones that are going to be winning as well. But I would say the base network is the one that's really looking promising. Lastly, let's take a look at Ethereum over here. In my opinion, I think Ethereum is sitting at a target point over here. If you were to accumulate around these price areas, around like 1800 level, then I think the 2500 level is going to be your target point. Time to take some profits out of the table. But this is only if you are doing margin trading. If you're not doing margin trading, spot hodling, I'm holding 7 Ethereum, everybody. I told you this before. It's on my Robinhood account. I sent it on the wrong network. They are not giving me my money. It has been almost 3 years. I'm still waiting. Now receiving the money. It's around $18,000. That's just sitting on that account. It's not moving anywhere. I sent it to the wrong address. It's still there. They own the wallet address, but they cannot do anything about it for some reason. I don't know. I guess I'm a hodler now of Ethereum, right? So, and I think it's not a bad time to be hodling neither. So I'm gonna be holding, and hopefully hope for the best that they add the BSC network optionality there, so that I can withdraw my $18,000. But I can't do it. I can't do it right now. So that's partially the reason why I'm not really invested into the cryptocurrencies right now. Because if I was getting that money, I would be definitely accumulating a little bit in the next, after like 4 or 5 days. If you close above this level, definitely getting into the market, specifically near and render, I will be buying it. But right now, I gotta wait. I can't do anything. So I'm waiting, not doing anything, wishing for the best. And I wish you all the best. And I see you guys on another video. All right, take it easy for now, everybody.